Hey guys, today I will be comparing the four major 2020 presidential election forecasts with each other, and unlike my other forecast comparisons where I compared the average percent of victory that they expect and project for each candidate, this video will be a little different as I will be comparing the chances of victory that they give for each candidate in these states. So the margins are solid is over 99% chance of going to either candidate. So if they think that North Dakota has an over 99% chance of going to Donald Trump, it's going to be solid. And the likely margin is going to be from 85 to 99% chance of each candidate winning. The lead margin is going to be from 65 to 85%, and then anything from 50 to 65% is going to be the tilt margin. So this is currently the Economist forecast, and this is their map right here. The states of Washington, Oregon, California, and Hawaii are all solid, as well as most of the northeastern states. The states of New Hampshire and Maine are all likely states, and so there is no separate classification for the second districts of Maine and Nebraska on this map. So Joe Biden would win on the Economist forecast with 334 electoral votes to President Trump with 204. The state of Arizona on this map is a tilt margin, which I think is a little bit underestimating Biden's chances here. State of Alaska is a likely state, along with the states of Montana and South Carolina. This map, you will see, will have the largest amount of solid states for President Trump once we take a look at the other maps on that we're going to take a look at in just a few moments. The states of Iowa, Ohio, and Texas are all lean states on this map, while the state of Georgia is a tilt state. So the reason why I want to take a look at all these forecasts is just to take a look at the multiple opinions and projections that multiple different forecasts have for this election to understand how these analyzers are currently projecting the 2020 election. And this will help us give a better picture at what the experts are saying will occur on election night. These states of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan are all likely states, while the states of Pennsylvania and Florida are lean states on this map, along with the state of Nevada. So the first map right here, 334 electoral votes. This is the map, in my opinion, that is the most favorable towards President Trump, as there is the largest amount of solid states for the president. The next map I'm going to take a look at is the JHK forecast map. They give Joe Biden 334 electoral votes as well, and Donald Trump 204 electoral votes on this map. Some differences that we can spot immediately: the state of Oregon is no longer solid, only a 98% chance of going to the former vice president, so it is not going to go into the solid column with Washington, California, and Hawaii. The state of Illinois is also solid, as well as the safe northeastern states. These are the same solid states as the Economist forecast we just took a look at in the Northeast. The state of New Hampshire is only a lean state on this map, while Maine and Nebraska only has one classification, so Maine is currently a likely state. Nebraska is a solid red state. As you can see on this map, there are more likely Trump states. The states of Montana, Alaska, Kansas, Missouri, Indiana, Mississippi, and South Carolina are all only likely states for the president on this map. And the states of Iowa and Georgia are the tilt states for the president, and the states of Ohio and Texas are expected to have larger margins of victory for him on election night. Ohio and Texas are currently lean states. For looking at Biden's states, the states of Nevada and Arizona are both tilt states. So this is a step up for Biden in the state of Arizona, while the states of Florida and North Carolina are tilt states. Florida is a step down from the Economist forecast for the former vice president, as it was a lean state on that projection. The state of Minnesota is also a likely state on this map once again, joining the states of Colorado and New Mexico. And then the blue wall that Hillary Clinton lost in 2016, the states of Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin are all lean states according to the JHK forecast. So this is their map, the JHK forecast map that we took a look at a couple days ago. Looking at this map, Joe Biden again, 334 electoral votes to President Trump with 204. And the next map, we're going to see even less solid states for President Trump. This is the 538 map. They only give Donald Trump only really just 6 solid states. The states of Idaho, Wyoming, North Dakota, the Nebraska 3rd District vote, the state of Oklahoma, and the state of West Virginia. So really only 5 states and 1 district is solid for the president on this map. However, these other states is basically an around 90 to 97% or 90 to 99% chance of these other likely states going to the president, but it's not over 99%. These are the states of Montana, Utah, South Dakota even, the state of Alaska, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, most of the Deep South, state of South Carolina, Indiana, and then Kentucky and Tennessee. So there is a very large amount of likely states on this map for the president, giving him 203 electoral votes to Joe Biden with 335. As on this electoral map, the at-large and the district votes in the states of Nebraska and Maine are actually projected. The 2 districts are both expected to be tilt districts in favor of Joe Biden. On this map again, Oregon is not solid. It is a likely state, along with the states of Colorado and New Mexico. Nevada and Arizona are the lean states once again, along with Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, these other 2 blue wall states, while the state of Michigan is actually a likely state on this map, joining Minnesota and Virginia. The state of New Hampshire is a lean state on this map as well, and surprisingly, the states of Connecticut and New Jersey are likely states. So, of course, 538 is a little bit more conservative with actually giving projections. So they do. So there are a lot less solid states on this map for both Biden and Trump, but noticeably a lot more of likely states for the president than for Joe Biden. The states of North Carolina and Georgia, these states are tilt states for Joe Biden, just like the JHK forecast. And the states of Iowa, Ohio, and Georgia are the tilt states for the president, while the state of Texas is currently a lean state. So Trump has a higher chance of winning Texas than Iowa, Ohio, and Georgia, according to this electoral map. So this map, I think, is not the most accurate, as I think there are quite a few likely states that should be solid states. I think that some states do really have an over 99% chance of going to the president. However, if they're not solid, they're basically around 1 to 2% off from that 99%. So this is not too bad for the president, but he is only expected to win 203 electoral votes, 1 less than the other 2 forecasts that we just took a look at. And the final forecast we're going to take a look at in this video is the Hour Progress forecast. This forecast gives Joe Biden the largest margin of victory compared to the other 3 forecasts we just took a look at. In this forecast, Joe Biden is expected to win 351 electoral votes to President Trump with just 187. If we take a look at the states on this map, Washington, California, Hawaii again are the solid states on the West Coast or in the western region. The state of Oregon is a likely state, along with Minnesota and Michigan, which are both likely states on this map. The states of Wisconsin and Pennsylvania finish off the blue wall as lean states. New Hampshire is a likely state on this map, while the 2 swing districts are all tilt districts, and the rest of the state of Nebraska and the rest of the state of Maine are both solid for their respective parties. And most of the Northeast is back to being solid for Joe Biden. The state of Virginia is a likely state, and then for the president, most of his solid states are solid this time around, except for Montana, Alaska, Kansas, Missouri, these states that we have seen not be solid for the president quite a couple times. Mississippi really only has around a 98% chance of going to the president. So it's going to go to the president, but it's just not solid according to these classifications, as only states with an over 99% chance of going to either candidate are going to be solid on these maps. For the president here, the states of Iowa, Ohio, and Texas, these are the tilt states on this map for the president, while the states of Nevada and Arizona are both lean and tilt states for the former vice president on this map. The state of Arizona is actually not as safe for Joe Biden as I would have expected from the Hour Progress forecast, which does seem to be the most left-leaning forecast out of the 4 main forecasts that I do discuss on my channel. I made a video about this forecast just a couple of days ago as well, so make sure you check all of my forecast videos out that I do every couple of weeks if you want to take a look at those forecasts in more depth, as I do think that all of these forecasts are pretty unique and they do give a lot of information that other forecasts do not. Now, the surprise here is the state of Georgia. I think we can all agree that this is the only map where Georgia goes to Joe Biden. The other three maps are basically identical, except I believe the JHK forecast gave Joe Biden one more electoral vote because it did give Joe Biden the 2nd district of Nebraska that the first two forecasts did not look at. The 538 forecast gave Joe Biden the 2nd district. The JHK and economist forecast did not do separate projections for the states, for the 2nd districts of Maine and Nebraska. And the three states, the North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, are tilt states on this map. I do find Georgia to be in this category to be quite surprising, just because the state of Georgia is expected to go to Donald Trump. I think it's going to go to Donald Trump, but the Outrageous forecast, which has put the state of Georgia into the Biden column for quite a while now, does not seem to agree with this. But 351 electoral votes, I think this would be a very good night for Joe Biden if he would be able to take this on election night. And so our final map here, this is the average consensus of all of the data that we have just taken a look at. According to the averages that I have averaged out, this is Washington, California, Hawaii, Illinois, as well as most of the Northeast are all solid for Joe Biden. The states of Oregon, Minnesota, and the state of Michigan, as well as the state of Virginia, New Hampshire, Colorado, and New Mexico are the likely states for the former vice president. These states are expected to have these states currently do have an over 85% chance of going to Joe Biden. And as for President Trump, he has most of his solid states, except with, of course, the 7 states that are not too solid for the president: Montana, Alaska, Kansas, Missouri, Mississippi, South Carolina, and Indiana. These are the likely Trump states as the average of all of these maps. And then the lean states for the former vice president, we have Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. These other 2 blue wall states are not as solid as Minnesota and Michigan right now for Joe Biden. However, still a pretty good margin or a pretty good chance of victory for Joe Biden in these states. The state of Nevada is also a lean state, not quite a solid state on any of these forecasts, and I do definitely agree with that. Nevada is almost definitely going to go to Joe Biden, in my opinion, but it's not by the largest of margins. The Maine 1st district vote is solid, the at-large vote is likely, and then basically the same thing in the state of Nebraska. The 1st and 3rd district are solid, while the at-large vote is currently likely. And then the lean Trump state there's only one, that is the state of Texas. 38 electoral votes is currently a lean state for the president, while the states of Iowa, Ohio, and Georgia are the tilt states in favor of President Trump, according to the averages of all of these maps. And then the state of North Carolina and Florida, these 2 states are the tilt states for Joe Biden. This does give Joe Biden an average of 335 electoral votes to President Trump, with an average of 203 electoral votes in the Electoral College. So taking a look back at all of the 4 forecasts we've just taken a look at, first we take a look at the economist forecast, 334 to 204 in favor of Biden, and now we have the JHK forecast, 334 to 204 in favor of Joe Biden as well. Then we have the 538 forecast, 335 to 203, because they did give Joe Biden the 2nd district of Nebraska, putting him up at 335 electoral votes. This is identical, or not identical in terms of classifications, but just the numbers here is identical to my latest election map prediction. And the last forecast we took a look at is the Our Progress forecast. Joe Biden 351 electoral votes, with the addition of the state of Georgia as a tilt state for the former vice president, and then the 187 other electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. And then once again, this is the average consensus. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like down below, as well as subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate that. Really appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, along with any suggestions for videos you'd like to see from me in the future. And I will see you in the next video.